Earlier, we were talking about people's birthdays. And today is Mick Jagger's birthday, and it is Stanley Kubrick's birthday. And you and I are very into... Now, this is what happens when you have a personal friend on the show, okay? And if I didn't...
me?
Yeah, if I didn't think much of him, I mean, we wouldn't be on the show. But, you know, or he wouldn't be on the show with me, whatever. But, you know, we want to get into some things I think are more fun. Now, The Shining came out in 1980.
What a scary movie that is.
And I showed this earlier.
Literally one of the scariest movies ever. Some people say it's number one.
I thought it was great. I know that Stephen King didn't like it. And
he did not like it because there's too many changes.
And you know what? I read the book and saw the movie. I like the movie better. Number one, because you never knew whether it was supernatural or not.
Oh, I always wondered that if he was dreaming it or not.
And in King's novel, it's definitely supernatural. Here's what the inside of this looks like. And it's called Room 237. And it's about The Shining, but tell us a little more.
Me?
You.
Yeah, so the so if I have to step back a little bit, Stanley Kubrick filmed a movie called Dr.
Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove, where it was, and you've seen that, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so he wasn't allowed on a military base though to film it. So he had to do that had to figure it all out. And I guess the military was so impressed that they went to him and said, we have a project for you, but you can't say no to it. And it was basically to film the moon landing. So they said, we're going to give you a huge budget to do 2001: A Space Odyssey. That way we can let the world know what it's supposed to kind of look like, and then you can do our project for us. Supposedly he wasn't too happy about it, so he put clues in his future movies about him filming the moon landing.
And in The Shining, of course, didn't the kid a sweatshirt that said Apollo 11 all the time on it, right?
Yes, the whole scene's kind of a trip, but there's in this one called Kubrick's Odyssey, they actually point out a couple other things in The Shining, basically saying like this one guy's supposed to represent the United States being kind of a bully, and then they have the moon stuff. But the big change, I think, from the book to the movie was the room number. In the book, it was a different room number.
Okay.
So I don't know what it was, 189. But in the movie, it's 237. And so in the movie, you see the kid stand up, Apollo 11, and go to this room where something happened. And that's supposed to be a rocket traveling to the moon, which is 237,000 miles away.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can't see how, I mean, it's pretty clear. And then, as I think I mentioned to you, he released his last movie, which was Eyes Wide Shut, was released on July 16th. Which was the anniversary of us launching a rocket to the moon. And it was 30-year anniversary. So, those are some pretty good clues, I think.
In The Shining, there's a bunch of clues in just about everything he does. Like, and he tries to steer you. Before you got here, we talked about the meaning of 2001, Nietzsche, the spoke Zarathustra, how the music was exactly there for, to point that out exactly in the different parts of the book, and about the, through the conquest of the unknown, man is continuously reborn. He does all of those kind of things in all of his movies. In The Shining, in the novel, King has Mr. what's his name, the caretaker, driving up there with his family.
The black guy?
No, the guy that was the caretaker for the winter time.
Okay. Oh, that intro that showed him the place and everything.
No, yeah, the guy. What's his name?
He was in the beginning and he showed it to him, right?
Yeah, the main star.
Oh, you mean Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was driving up, in the novel, he's driving up in a red Volkswagen.
Oh, that was another change, and there was a car color change, right?
Yeah, and if you watch the movie, it's quickly goes by a red Volkswagen that has just crashed
Yes, I remember
and
that.
is over on the side of the road. So that was Kubrick.
They reference that in here. What was that for?
That was Kubrick crashing the Stephen King's version.
Oh, because they do mention that in here. That was another thing Stephen King didn't like, is he changed that part.
Yeah, well, and not only did he change it, he crashed it.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, pretty fascinating stuff. There was a Simpsons once, and it showed a quick clip of Stanley Kubrick. And I took a picture of it, and I looked, and at the bottom, it says, like, he has a VHS tape, and it says moon landing on it.
Wow.
Yeah, so they made a little blip on it, too. It's funny, when you go on Instagram, NASA has all these Instagram pages, and half the comments are like about it's all fake, and it's just funny to read these comments.
Wow.
By the way, did you know how many times we went to the moon, supposedly?
There was 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17.
Very good. 6 times in 2.5 years. Just try and understand that. Really, we really went like a slingshot 6 times, and then we're like, okay, we're done for 50 years, and then now we're going back. If people want to get a hold of me, holisticfinancialplanning.us is my main website, but I do employ all social media, everything on social. If you look up Bissonette, you'll find me on LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever, Facebook.